Jeremiah 10:1-2. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Jeremiah 10:3-4. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman, with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. Jeremiah 10:5. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good.
This world get on my nerves so bad. Because now y'all want to have all the black ornaments and stuff. And I know before y'all say we ain't never satisfied when it wasn't any. Now we got them. Be quiet. Yeah, but this ain't what that is. Because we shouldn't have never had to advocate to have brown ornaments and stuff anyway. That shouldn't even nothing that even have to be said. But now all of a sudden that's all you see. Y'all need these black dollars. That's all that is. Because we spend the most.
Idolatry. Putting anything or anyone before the Lord. That's one of the sins that the Lord hates the most, is idolatry. Now I'm going to give you an example of how we commit idolatry. For those who don't know, check it out.
Exodus 24:5. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
As you could see, anything you put before the Lord, considered idolatry. It's not just bowing down to something or serving something, but if you make a decision against the Lord for something or somebody else, idolatry. A lot of people do that when it comes to their children. They say they're doing things for the children. Even if you really feel that way, which I know you're really doing it for yourself also, still idolatry, still a sin. Here's an example.
Christmas is literally right around the corner. We know all of these children are very excited for Christmas. And I know a lot of y'all finna come on here and say, oh, well, a lot of us don't have the funds for Christmas. There are so many programs out right now that you can apply for so your child can receive a gift for Christmas. I feel like throughout this next 2 months, if you see clothes, toys, electronics on sale, grab that shit for your kids. So then by the time Christmas come, you'll already have a stockpile full of shit for the kids. Them kids be feeling sad as hell when they go back to school and ain't received any type of gifts. And then you just got all the children talking about what they got. That shit feels terrible.
Teaching your children to be envious. Because somebody has something and you don't, that means you're supposed to have it too. Then you wonder why children grow up and become criminals and get killed young and go to prison young. See what I'm saying? Sure.
Job 5:2-4. For wrath killeth the foolish man, and envy slayeth the silly one. I have seen the foolish taking root, but suddenly I cursed his habitation. His children are far from safety, and they are crushed in the gate. Neither is there any to deliver them. Precept. Proverbs 27:3-4. A stone is heavy, and the sand weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than them both. Wrath is cruel, and anger is outrageous, but who is able to stand before envy?
I'm not gonna lie, there's no excuse not to get your kids nothing for Christmas. You have 365 days in the year, 364 days in the year to go get your child something one time each time you get paid. There is no excuse. I grew up as a child and did not receive nothing for Christmas. I'm talking about nothing. And it was no excuse why I didn't get anything.
Envy is a hell of a thing. Now think about this. Imagine living in a time where everything is unsure. Things are the most expensive they've ever been. They cut food stamps for those who can't afford food. The future is unsure. And somehow, you're still managing to think about getting things, toys, unnecessary stuff for your children. Imagine being stuck with a woman like that, that's envious, in times like this.
Proverbs 3:31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Wisdom of Solomon 2:23-24. For God created man to be immortal, and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it.
Precept!
Genesis 3:4-5. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
Jesus is king! Woo! Jesus is king! Jesus is king. Okay. Jesus is king. I know that's right. Jesus is king.
What more got to be done to our people before we accept that every nationality is our enemies? All of them. We enemies. They did everything they could do to us to show that to us, and still we don't accept it. And now we run around serving their false god happily and pass it to our children.
Isaiah 3:12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths.
Think of the results that came from Eve, leading Adam.
1 Timothy 2:12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence.
Think about Eve leading Adam. Precept.
Revelation 14:4. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb. Israel, rise up!
Why do we follow religions? Why do we follow Christianity and Islam?
Right. Why do we?
That's a great question. Abraham older than that, man. Our King Yahushua, he's older than that, man. Our fathers is older than that. These laws are older than that. When we go back and we actually look according to the law, right, from 1409, all the way back, BC, we're not dealing with no cobblestone, no rocks, and no stocks and different things. Give me Jeremiah 2:20. Bring that up. Whoever got it.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 38, 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
The Lord said he's going to take you out from your rulership and where you were, and I'm going to put you in another nation where neither thy fathers have known.
Read. And there shalt thou serve other gods.
The Lord said once you get to another place of the earth, like we did in slave ships, I'm going to make you serve other gods. Check this out, sister. I'm going to make you serve other gods. Now, was that all the way 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago? No. This image isn't that old. Right? You didn't have Constantine. You didn't have these made-up religions. Baptist Church, Pentecostal, right? Catholic. These are newly created things by our oppressors. These are slave masters, man. From the early 14, 15, and 1600s. Literally, when you actually go into these are man-made religions and philosophies, Egyptology. And really, a lot of our people, they seek these things because they don't know the truth. So they're reaching and they're grabbing for any source of knowledge or anything to grab onto because they don't know who they are. Right. We're the Israelites according to the Bible. Right. And we're not ashamed of it, man. It's a beautiful thing to keep God's laws, God's commandments, man, and let your light so shine amongst men, man. Why do you have those on? What are those? These are fringes, man. Why do you have this on your head? It's a meat tree, man. These are what our fathers wore. These are what the prophets wore, man. You have to embrace your heritage. See, imagine if somebody was all pointing at a Chinese man, and he had a Chinese garment on some Chinese sticks. He's gonna be like, so, join my heritage. And he's gonna continue to eat his rice. It's not gonna bother him, man. Well, why would people point and laugh at us? We don't care, man. We're gonna always blow the trumpet. That's right. We're gonna wave the menorah. Right. We're gonna keep the new moon. We're gonna keep the Passover. Right. We're gonna wear these fringes and we're gonna be the Israelites, man. Right. We're gonna pick back up right where a lot of people have put down, man, over the generations. And we're gonna start being an example in the last days. So the Lord said, read,
And there shalt thou serve other gods.
we served other gods.
Wood and stone.
Now, where do we serve that to wood? The cross. Right. Exactly, sister. Right. And what about stone? The Lord said, I'm going to bring you to a nation and spread you abroad, and over these places you're going to serve stone. Where's that?
Actually, this is crazy. This is crazy. Yes, Saudi Arabia.
Exactly. Yeah, and they serving the stone.
Yeah.
And you know what they say? They say all of the spirits are trapped in there. You go there, you rub it, and it takes off your bad energy. It takes off your demons, and it traps it in this box right there. And people, they bow down to it. Look at them bowing down to this. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of souls bowing down to a carnal rock that cannot save them or do anything for them, man. We serve the true and living God, man. That's alive, that can do anything at any given time for you. But I bring that up, whatever I call it.
Look at Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 20. For of old time I have broken thy yoke.
The Lord said, of old time I have broken your yoke.
And burst thy hands, burst thy bands, Lucky. And thou saidest, I will not transgress.
Right, I will not transgress, meaning the Lord put us in slavery, then he took us out of slavery. He put us in slavery, he took us out of slavery, and we said that we're not going to transgress his laws anymore. Read.
But upon every high hill and under every green tree thou wanderest, playing the harlot.
Right, wanderers playing the harlot, man. We continue to go back into philosophies and different things of the nations. Jump down to verse 27.
Verse 27. Say unto a stock, thou art my
stock. Now, a stock is a piece of wood. You bow down to a piece of wood and then a tree stump. Right? You know, like on, what they call it, Steve Harvey was on that show. Apollo, where they used to rub the wood. Remember they did that? Why are you rubbing a stock, a tree? See, people trust in wood, man. You got your grandmother's lucky rabbit. You got a 4-leaf clover. Right, you got these little things that they have. People have dice, right? They roll them, my lucky sevens, and all these different things. We got to come out of all of that, man. Say it to a stop.
Thou art my father, right? And to a stone.
And to a stone.
Thou hast brought me forth.
What do they say?
Thou hast brought me forth.
You can't say anything to a stone. A stone is just a rock, man. And the Lord take a hammer and break rocks to pieces, man. That's in the scriptures. So we can't literally trust in stones, trust in stocks. Give me the book of Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 29. So is that something you're going to continue to trust in? And believe me, we just getting started on Islam. Right. We literally just getting started on Islam. Right. Is that something you want to do, sister? And you can be honest. That's why we have the scriptures and we want to go into it.
Something that probably don't hold no power.
Yeah, exactly. Now,